Hawk Jewelers, timeless jewelry for generations.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show Fight Against COVID 19. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing to our show. Thank you for connecting with our show. We were able to connect to many people around the states, people who are making masks, people who are helping small businesses, frontline workers, and many more. We really appreciate your support by connecting us to these people and also creating awareness about the fight against COVID 19. Today, I have somebody, a group who's making masks and supporting behind the scene, the frontline healthcare workers. I have Lynda Cowin from Boston. Hi, Linda.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. So, Linda, tell me a little bit about yourself. First, just your background, and then we'll talk about what your group and you are doing in this fight.
Oh, I live in Wellesley, Massachusetts, and I do some business consulting and tutor math on the side. And I've got two kids who are ages 14 and 12.
That's amazing. So, Linda, tell me a little bit about how you started this initiative of making masks, and tell me a little bit about your group.
So I really just kind of fell upon it. I have a lot of fabric and a lot of sewing machines and so forth, and stumbled upon a pattern on making cloth masks. And my father's a physician, and I wasn't sure if it was something that was actually needed because obviously it's not an N95 mask and so forth. And I put some feelers out, and it seemed like, particularly actually in the New York area and some areas in the smaller outskirts of Boston, that there was actually a desire. So the kids and I actually started sewing masks early on in March. And then somebody had suggested creating a Facebook page, which I did. And I thought it was to just really get it off of the other town pages more than anything. But then I started also looking at other Facebook pages of people who had created groups and had been sewing and looking for patterns and things. And the group just kind of started growing. People started joining, and I found a pattern that did not use elastic. A lot of the elastic had sold out very early on. And so we found a pattern that used T-shirts and was one loop and one tie, so it wasn't so hard, and used things around people's homes. So I helped organize this group, and we've got, I think, over 70 sewers now, and we have people that are cutting and driving and doing other things that aren't sewers but are contributing significantly to the group.
So which hospitals did you actually support? You said some in New York. Did you support that? And what about Boston?
A ton of hospitals, nursing homes. The list is very, very, very long.
Of course.
Honestly, a lot of the masks went to some of the smaller hospitals, but we've made a lot of caps for a lot of other hospitals, nursing homes, and assisted living facilities, and also even just group homes for disabled or other situations where there's been housing together. A ton of shelters, a lot of police and fire and councils of aging. Our group has made over 15,000 masks. And so it is honestly, I mean, we connected with a gentleman that's in Boston that works for a lot of the nonprofits. He distributed quite a few, but we've been getting orders of. There was Heading Home, for example, which is a sort of shelter, had asked for over 600 adult masks and over 300 pediatric masks that we were able to bundle up and produce this week. And so they've been, hundreds. It's not even just people have been putting in quote unquote orders for lots. And because we have such a great organization and such a great team of people where we have folks that even are donating fabric or t-shirts, and then they go to the people that are cutting them and they cut them in the sizes that need to be sewn, and we bundle them in groups of 20 masks, and then people come and pick up the masks and sew them and bring them back in sets of 20. So it's the people that are sewing are really just sewing, and the people that are cutting are really just cutting, and then there's people that are collecting and distributing, and we're doing the same thing for caps now. But it's been great because everyone that's been part of our team has been able to contribute in a very efficient, effective manner.
So, what motivated you to do this? Like, it's a very selfless work. You just started, I'm sure you're donating the stuff and things like that. So what made you start that?
I kind of just fell upon it. I wasn't really intending this to be like this massive production. I am a very organized person. But I had never created a Facebook like a Facebook group page. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I certainly was not expecting this to expand to 15,000 plus masks. But the group
and you said you made also
great.
Caps, right?
Yes, so we're now making caps. There are a couple of groups that we've been working with. So there's a Natick group that's been really great. They've produced over 1,000 caps, I think, maybe even close to 2,000 at this point. And then there's a Needham group that there's a woman that's been organizing, distributing things in that area. So we've kind of been working with the two of them to, if we get a big order of something and we could use their help or vice versa. We've been kind of leveraging patterns and trading styles of masks and things because certain styles are easier for certain folks and others. And so it's been a really big community effort that I feel that everybody's been contributing. And I think we've gotten to the point now where we're relatively under control from a mask perspective. We have been producing anywhere from 200 to 500 masks a day. Wow. And so I think we're pretty much have gotten to the point where anybody who's wanted a mask in a large organization has gotten them. And I know Natick has cleared their mask list and they're now reaching back out to residents. We're still supplying quite a few to the Council of Aging, and we do have some groups that are coming to us, but we've provided to food pantries and all sorts of shelters and facilities as well. And there's still a demand, so we're still sewing.
Yeah. So tell me, what are some of the challenges, Lynda, when you do this? Like, I'm sure you're trying to connect to many people. What are some of the challenges?
I think initially, it was probably trying to get everybody in the correct sort of place, but we really are in a groove now. I mean, I think that maybe some people may have had trouble trying to navigate which quote unquote orders to prioritize over others. But honestly, like people have reached out to us. For example, the Newton community, they had a drive where they provided lots of fabric and 100% cotton sheets and t-shirts. We got a very big donation from Maytag, I think that's correct, sheet company in Falls River, Massachusetts, that somebody had reached out to that has produced, I don't even know, like thousands of masks from that. And so I think initially it was trying to figure out what materials to use and how to get the materials, because I was really just going through my supply and whatever immediate community donations that we've had. But since we've grown to what we've grown to, and the publicity, I think, on the various Facebook pages has been significant enough that we haven't run out of fabric. We haven't run out of, ties. And we did get a grant from the COVID fund in Wellesley, where they're buying some bands that go in the back of the head, that don't go behind your ears, but they go in the back of your head, that are easier for some of the elderly people and people with disabilities that may not be able to tie, or something like that. So I think initially it was probably trying to get materials and some sort of organization, but we haven't really run into that at all now.
That's amazing. So, our platform is to create awareness and connect people. And there are many people around in Newton who may look at the show, or other communities in Boston. I know you have a Facebook page. Is that the way they can reach out to you if they want to donate something, whether it's in the form of monetary help or material and things like that? How can they reach out to you?
Yeah, I mean, the easiest thing is probably to reach out over our webpage or to direct message me. I've been
And
on.
this is your page, right, on the right,
Yeah,
that we're showing.
This is our page. They can direct message us, or they can send a note if they've got a request. We're happy to help there. If they have donations or things like that, that's also good. If fabric, 100% cotton fabric, 100% cotton sheets, not jersey, not flannel.
Yeah. What is the name of
but
your group, if you can repeat, Lynda, so they can look at the Facebook, please?
sure, it's Sewing COVID-19 Help, and then it's Working Together Wellesley, Newton, Needham, and more. So if you search for Sewing COVID-19 and you either put Wellesley or Newton, you should probably be able to find us.
So, thank you so much. It's amazing to see what great selfless work you are doing and your team is doing to provide this mask. Any message to the viewers, Lynda, who are watching you? I mean, it's a challenging time and people are going through a lot. Anything you want to say to them?
I think it is a challenging time. I mean, I keep saying to my own children and even to myself, we're living in a pandemic. I mean, that's insane. I mean, everybody goes through lots of different things, but a pandemic is not one that's usually on people's lists of things. And I'm sure as a physician, that this is even an anomaly for anybody.
Yeah.
And I don't know, personally, I think that you only can control what you can control. And I think that you just have to try and do the best you can with what we are dealt with right now. And until there's a vaccine, or until there's other things, I think we just all have to be respectful and careful and try and navigate this as best as possible. And I mean, whatever we can do to help, we're here to help. If people need a mask, even if they're residents, you don't have to be a frontline person. Our masks are really easy to provide, and if anybody needs anything, just send us a message and we'll get it over to you. I mean, if people want to wear masks and they can't get their hands on it, it's not difficult. And all of our stuff has really come from donations, and the sewing time is not that much, so we're happy to help.
Can you tell me, so I keep getting these questions that people are making masks for children as well. Are you guys making masks for children too?
We are making masks for children. And the ones that we're making, I personally think are very good. They are not behind the ears. They're basically a smaller version for the children, and they go with two bands behind the head, they're made out of like baby headband material. Like the do-it-yourself headbands. And so I don't particularly, for the younger children, like any sort of ties or anything around the neck. It makes me very nervous. I mean, as a mom, it may be fine, but the last thing you need is it for not to be fine. And even if it's not fine one time,
you don't want to take a chance.
No, it's just not worth it. So these are in the back of their head. It doesn't get caught in the hair, and it's not annoying on their ears. Like a lot of the kids are having issues with the sensory on their ears, and they also don't come off. So we've been using those, and they're not difficult to make. The only thing that we have to do is we have to purchase these baby headbands, but they're not very expensive. And we've been able to work with some donations and some grant money because we do the same thing for the Council of Aging in Wellesley. We're using the same kind of style.
Kind of material.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yes, we do have pediatric masks, and one of the things that I've sort of thought might be fun is even if you had a white mask and then you got kids with fabric markers or paint or even tie-dye, they could create their own.
Yeah.
And then they might be more inclined to wear it. And so, I mean, that's for the younger children. I know that the teenager-y kids are also struggling, and they just I want black, I want navy, I want something plain, especially some of the guys I know are like, I don't want any prints on my stuff.
Just like anything else, right?
I don't know how to make anything cool or desirable, but it
has to do the work, right?
Yeah, I mean, but I think that's not. I mean, I hope it's not that people can't get their hands on things, and we're giving everything away. So if people have any desire for anything, we're happy to provide it. And like I said, we're pretty close to fulfilling the demands that we have at the moment. So that's going to even open up some opportunity to, residential and other folks, as well.
So that's wonderful. Oh my God, more than 15,000 masks, many, many caps, and so much, and doing all this selflessly. Thank you so much for supporting the community.
Thank you so much.
So it was a pleasure to have you. You please take care of yourself, stay safe. And then, I to my viewers, stay safe, stay connected, social distancing, and take care of yourself. Thank you so much, Lynda.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Take care.
Bye.